All right, are we alive? No. I'm sure we are. Are we live? Am I live? Let's see how things are working around here. And how many of you do I see? But I guess we should be online, right? Let me check. Yeah. Hello, I see stars above. I see Seal, Kelly, nice to see you around there. I'm glad to see you there. Let me catch up with the technical matters because looks like I might be missing something on the setting, running out of time. But I'll be with you in a minute. Let me check on this thing. Yes, hello Olivia. What I'm not seeing, supposed to last time, is how many of you are there. But I'm gonna go with my gut feeling, I guess. And yeah, we'll figure something out. All right, wanted to first of all say sorry for that mismatch between Discord time and YouTube time, apparently. So, of course, to strike a balance, I think the best way is to cut it in half. For some of you, I might be too late. For others, might be a little too soon. And I'm glad to have you here, all with me. I see there a few of you. So today in this stream, and hey Dennis, nice to see you. Yeah, it's a very philosophical. Let's chill back. Let's discuss solo RPG and the hardships of life and how the both are actually related, aren't they? They are typically related. Our mood defines a lot of our creativity, I think, in my opinion, and how things evolve over there. So I'm just configuring because, of course, I am not doing agile. But let's get started. Today the agenda is to get together to catch up with some of you with the amazing update that's coming soon for Plot Unfolding Machine Companion. We will take the chance to review the features and share them with you, take a look together at what is new, how is the app shaping up. When did we launch? I think I launched the app on August. And the speed of development is a bit crazy if you ask me. I might have coded a few long nights more than I should or I could, but we made it. And when I started the app, the idea of the app was to play a Plot Unfolding Machine as simple as it gets on any device and be able to move your games around and move along the flow. But these solo RPG players are very ambitious, and I put myself in that bag. So started very quickly adding those features here and there. I remember we started with like some dice formulas, some character sheet places where we could take notes, adding new images, and then improving the plot track management. It's crazy, right, how it was. I remember at the beginning the plot tracks were fixed, and the very, very first feature request that came from many of you was to make them flexible. Make them flexible. I want to go back, go forward, change things. I want to undo, redo. And it's interesting because it's a very philosophical topic. Because like if we compare writing and storytelling, or writing and improvisationally storytelling or solo RPG, I always have the feeling and mindset, and maybe it's a trick in my head, in a hack, that I play only looking forward, and that helped me. I mean, helped me get this far in terms of how many actual plays I got going back then when I used to play more often than coding. And I think it helps me in the sense that what's written is written, and what's done is done, and what is said, and liked it or not, it's what happened. And that kind of plugged that concept in my head so deep that the plot unfolding machine itself is done in that way. I think a way to play easier and be less harder on ourselves is to accept the fact that what happened. So if a scene was not so great, or if we said something dumb, or we didn't like the way we interpreted an oracle, and then we get stuck in that step, in my opinion, we will never kind of progress and move forward, and we will be rather stuck in this perfectionism that tries to get the perfect actual play outside. And I don't know, I honestly think we could practice that forward looking some more, but it gets hard. The app itself is now publishing PDFs, and I understand we want the best possible story out there. Yes, it is young, right? Like August, like 4 or 5 months, lots of coding. Hello there, Mio Palmo. So having said that, I don't know, let me know what do you think, like how can we deal with that perfectionism in a way, because it is risky. I mean, if we look very much into perfecting the solo play, into perfecting the writing, into perfecting the scenes, in deleting previous scene or undoing them or going back and change them, absolutely we can, and I really support that idea of having the perfect play. But what if? So just giving a bit of story, that's how Plot Unfolding Machine and the plot tracks were designed, in a way like tunnel view, look forward, don't look back, and play. That was the idea. With that said, I bring that up because one of the first gameplay feature changes in Plot Unfolding Machine and the app is in this new update. So let's get going. First thing, when you launch the app in 1.10, the first time you do, I'm gonna make myself smaller now, it's app time. The first thing you will see is an example game. And that is a fantastic idea I got from a UI designer friend. Very early in July, when I was developing this app, I asked him to try it out to see if it even worked for him, and he said it would be great to have an example game, because I don't know what Plot Unfolding Machine is, and I don't even know what this app does and how it works. So would be there that out of the box there was a game, so I could see like how does it feel to use this app. And I think that's a great piece of advice. YouTube video and sound is not matched. Is there a delay? I hope not. Let me know and confirm. But yes, the idea is that essentially an example game would speed up the learning. Unfortunately, for technical reasons, it was hard to get into the game, but now we are mature enough that the app can handle package games and so on, and many other things. So with the help of Seal, a community member and collaborator, we set up a quick game that will go into an example game. That means for those of you who for the first time launch the app, and exceptionally in the update of 1.10, you will also get a notice asking you if you would like to have this example game added. Then you will be able to get this example of a game. It's called Underwater Cities, and it has a few plot notes pre-created. It's a game set in a steampunk underwater world, and it comes with a bunch of characters. Your consciousness, that's the game master, a grandpa, and some important lady called Lady Darkwaters. Opening the game master notes, we will see a description about the world. So it's a world where an asteroid hit the Earth in 2041, and it turned into a snowball Earth. So essentially post-apocalyptic steampunk game, where we essentially have this example game with a bunch of AI generated pictures for this game, and a quick setup. So for anyone starting and opening the app for the first time ever, they will be able to take a look at this kind of thing. An example plot notes like, okay, the game or world elements, moving is dangerous, There is forgotten lore, so all cities are essentially city-states, each governed by a different government, just like on the surface of the earth, mostly by large companies and autocrats. Underwater, the fight is mainly for food and resources. So yeah, example plot notes. Am I with you? Because technical challenges today, it seems. Let me check if I can. I will be with you in a moment. I'm checking out if there is any. All right, one sec. Yeah, technical challenges today, but let's see. Sorry about that, I'll be back in a second. Wanting to catch up with the chat because looks like I'm out of sync. Yes, I'm back. So, sorry for that. Yes, I'm back. Can you hear me, guys? All right, I appreciate your patience. Yes, thank you. Okay, coming back. Thank you. Sorry for these things. I'm not sure what's going on today, but we are back. So, the game is an example game. So let me move on, but it's really great. I mean, take a look at it because it comes with a few characters and a location, starting location. It's a starting game. It's like a quick start game. I think the app needed this. So it's really, really cool. Let's take a look at the rest of the app. When we create a game, I'm gonna go in order. There are a few changes in the gameplay, and looking forward to know what you guys think. There is now a gameplay changes that can impact how we play Plot and Folding Machine. Not significantly, but let's say it's important enough. What changes are the plot focus in the next version. So in the past we had a story-driven plot focus, a prep-less, balanced one, and an encounters one, and that was about it. But I think the plot focus is really important because it is what essentially happens when we go for that random prompt. For those of you not very familiar with Plot and Folding Machine, random prompt is a button we use to advance in the plot track. It gives us a random idea for a scene or what could happen next. It's a very powerful tool in my opinion. But the random aspect of it is what makes players very wary about what it can give and how fitting those results are. So I've noticed that many of you play very careful with them and use modified proposals instead, which is like, okay, your own ideas modified by a twist. So I wanted to boost that usage of random prompt, not in the way that I would like to force it more than it should, but with the new plot focus settings, we will be able as players to choose what kind of randomness sits behind them. So essentially there are multiple ones now. The core one and default one is balanced. Balanced is the one by Plot and Folding Machine. It has a mix of generic random events or the ABCD tables. I need to work on naming things. That is random events that are not specifically tied to your plot node setup. And the other half is plot nodes, the ones you created. So random invocations to the elements of the game you're playing. For this reason, the second one, I call it story driven. The story-driven plot focus is the one that exclusively calls your plot node. So if you're playing an event game like Seal's big, massive quarterly, monthly PUM events that are a pre-set up game with game and world elements, with encounters, with findings and stuff like that, then the story-driven plot focus is best, because then you make sure that the random events or the random prompts you use will make use of those plot nodes. So that is the story-driven plot focus. It eliminates from that randomness the generic random events or random prompts. The other ones are more handmade, let's say. They are different combinations. We have action-oriented. These are for action and combat-based games. Very well fitting because it has a customization of random prompts that calls encounters and problems more often than other things. Social relations, this you might like if you're playing social, political, or romance games, because it focuses on those random prompts that are related to talking and finding and meeting new NPCs. On exploration, the word says it itself works best for traps and challenges and Indiana Jones kind of games. World building is when you are really deep into exploring what kind of world you're in, and you get a lot of world elements and world building prompts. Treasure hunt focuses on finding things all the time. So if you have a lot of cool stuff in your useful findings plot nodes, the treasure hunts will bring them more often. And then the last but not least is the improvised one. That is the one that has no plot nodes usage at all. You can still create plot nodes and for yourself, but the random prompts will only be generic random prompts. Does that make sense so far? So essentially these plot focuses are to tweak your randomness by calling random prompts. So I really hope you like this. What's important now is that I have worked a lot on the how to play PUM C. Now the information window is going to have lots of information for you guys. The first one is the one that existed there about PUM. It explains the oracles and the basic things, but there's 5 new tabs on top. You have information about the plot tracks. This also existed in the past, but now it's handy over here, so you can access it from anywhere. The plot nodes, this page is not so great, but it has some basics about the plot nodes and what they mean. The plot focus, this is what we just explained. Here you can see the exact list of things you could get when you're calling a random prompt. So let's take a look at an example. The social relations plot focus will call a catalyst, a situation, will meet notable characters, lead to interesting location, deal with a problem. So as you can see, is softly fine-tuned towards notable characters, catalyst, and situations. Instead, if we take a look at the action-oriented one, we will get endure difficult complications, we get problems more often, difficult challenges. So as you can see, it fine-tunes this play style, and it's really important because then we will be less scared that what we get is going to be too much out of the idea. So I hope this prompts you to use more the random prompts because they are powerful. Then you also have access now to the dice formula, so you can now in the app access information about how to roll dice for specific systems and a bit of information on text styling. So these are the changes around the game. There's one last one that is a big change, but it's a naming change actually. It's just a naming change, but it's significant. I've been thinking a lot about this and discussed with Kelly and Kivo and Hawk in the community. And the encounters, the relevant encounters plot nodes will now be called differently. It will be now called potential obstacles. And why is that? I think after experience and watching you play, that encounters was hard to set up. It felt like looking too much in the future about what encounters will I have as a player. and it didn't work well. Even for myself, it's like, okay, how do I set up an encounter? What is an encounter? Is it a combat? Is it somebody? It was like a bit strange. So I think calling it potential obstacles will make it more, it's like, okay, for what my characters want to achieve in this plot, what are the obstacles? And I think that is much more touchable. An obstacle could be myself, it could be an enemy, it could be my family. So it brings it a bit more down to earth. So setting up the game should not be as hard as it was in the past. So game or world elements, I've seen that used a lot. It's pretty much fantastic. We know about it. It's like universal stuff that doesn't care who you are. They are there. They are part of the world. Potential obstacles now will be things in your way for your own goals. Useful findings, also I've seen it working fine. Pending questions also worked fine. What you might have noticed in pending questions, if you take a close look at the plot focuses, they are much more reduced than in the past. So we will get them less frequently. So they will become more important but less frequent, given room for other events to happen. Yes, hey Dex, oh, enjoy your pizza. So, that is the game setup things. No fancy features around here, but lots of small improvements in gameplay. I hope this improves our game experiences. Let me go back. Kelly says, encounters, to me I always think of possible battles, so I like the new name. Yeah, indeed. So encounters was an easy word if you think about of D&D and fights and battles, but the idea is to keep that more generic, so to allow for even yourself as an obstacle, your own emotions, someone else, a family, the faction. So it doesn't have to be a fight itself. It can be any kind of obstacles. That's why I think I like this word a lot. And potential gives it the sense that it might not necessarily happen, or might not really become a thing. So yes, Dex, sorry, I had an issue between Discord and YouTube, so I had to set it up in between. I'm explaining here gameplay changes, the plot focus. If any of you missed that, you can look back at this video. No, you didn't miss much, Dex, don't worry. I mean, I can explain the plot focus. You can either way, anyway, catch up with it later. But the plot focuses are, yeah, as I was explaining, ways that will change the randomness of the random prompts. Yeah, let's catch up a bit with now in game. Let's go with my little game Klagan on the Hawk, a game I couldn't advance much. Unfortunately, actually it was not a Hawk, it's a Falcon. So it's this, my story for the monthly event is a small kid that escaped his original village with a rune stone, and yes, he was essentially following the meaning of this rune, and there was this little bird following the rune. So as he has this rune, the falcon follows him wherever he goes, and apparently they are building up a bond together. And I didn't progress much, to be honest. I played really little, but eventually they meet Fallen Tree, which is this shaman, in the phrases of the landslide. And I guess I wanted to start discovering here the past of Klagan. He's got his rune broken, by the way. He fell off a tree. Yeah, the oracle said the rune is broken in half. Yeah, so that's how the game begin, indeed. So I need to figure out now how to fix it, and like if he could do anything, what it means that it's broken, and who could understand any of it. So that's a bit the plot seed of my own game for Mother of Origins event, but yeah, I should play more often. Oh, Fallen Tree is a fallen tree, yeah, could be. So let's catch up with other news. The most fancy one, and I think you will like this one, is random tables. So yeah, with the story, Yeah, I mean, is it YouTube? Is it my internet? I don't know. I don't know. Because also for me the music cut off, so yeah, YouTube is playing weird today. But where did you lost me? So I'm reading the question from Dreams Gone to use pre-written adventures. Would love also, guys, to hear your opinions on that. But in my honest opinion, and not to oversell Plot Unfolding Machine or anything, but after what we have seen with the monthly event, we are playing a plot seed that is created by someone else, created the plot nodes and all of that, and we are playing from there. That gives me the hints that Plot Unfolding Machine could work really well for pre-written adventures. So if you figure out a way of setting up the plot nodes based on what you know from the pre-written adventures, so maybe you can read like the highlight of the adventure, what's gonna be about, in which world does it take place, and allow yourself to drift from it as you play, then I think it can work really well. Dex says, I saw some fire in your house, Jen, when you briefly switched to your surveillance camera. Did I? Ooh, that sounds scary. But yes, I think the plot nodes are the key for pre-written adventures, if you ask me. So if you can take a quick look, you can, for example, steal the NPCs from the pre-written adventure without knowing or reading about them more often, any more than that, and you just include them as characters, for example. So whenever they land through a random prompt, you might get this meet a new character and they might come up. Then you can dive deep in that NPC and read back from the pre-written adventure and catch up with that. That would be one way of playing. Another way of playing is, yes, you spoil yourself a little bit more, you fill in plot notes in more detail, and then you let yourself drift from there until you catch up again at another point. But it's an interesting challenge. Yeah, definitely looking forward to see how and hear how it works for other people. Yeah, so now that YouTube is back, let's talk about the first biggest feature of PUM 110, going a bit on schedule. Random tables. Woo, let's cheer. How does it work? There is a button here on the top left on the Oracles panel that's gonna be fixed. So regardless of which Oracle system Oracle subset you're using, you're gonna get this random tables button down here. You click it and you can get your random tables. What does that mean? Yes, so what it means is you can load a template for a random table that is a text file that has a list of stuff. You can set it up, or you can create one right away over here. So you can say, let's create one for, I don't know, items. I'm not very creative today. I coded too much. Tomorrow I'm gonna play, that's for sure. Need to wake up with the creative mindset. So items, I don't know, an amulet, magical sword, a runestone, tools to repair, and I don't know, a spear. So, like as you can see, you can right away create tables in game, and it's gonna happen here, and press items, and you're gonna get a random item. Yes, so we did it. There's a bunch of stuff around here. Items, there are two icons here. Of course, you can drag and drop. You can also search, because I imagine you guys are gonna have 200 tables. So you can write something and it's gonna filter those for you. And so you can find them super fast. Then you can download them. That's gonna bring PUMT is the file format for sharing tables. Yeah, it's a bit like play by the writing tables, exactly. So what PUMT tables allow is that you guys can share with each other random tables in the Discord community by making sure the PUMT is a format specifically for PUM Companion, so you don't have to share around files and source files and so on. But please, of course, stay out of copyright material. The idea here is that we create maybe community random tables, your own creations, your own home brews, and you share those openly. So that's the goal of being able to share tables. So I'm opening a thread channel in the Discord so we can let our freedom be enjoyed by sharing random tables. So a few things about tables is the following. I'm gonna open a quick text editor. Actually, I can do it in the app. So let me show you two important features of here. Keep in mind here I have two tables already, weapons and items, okay? One big feature you can do is now you can create a new table, call it weapons and items, both. And if you enclose the name weapons and items in these double brackets, this single row table is gonna be rolling in the other two tables. So in one row, you're gonna get an item and a weapon. So I think this is beautiful because now you can guys play with the stuff you've been looking for, in the sense that you can combine things and get in one click a bunch of your own ideas for your own tables. So I think this is going to enable a lot of things. And the other thing you can do is a weighted table. A weighted table is something that where you have different distributions of results. So you have certain biases, for example. So you have, for example, 25% chance to get a sword, 25 to get an axe, but actually you have up to they have to be cumulative. Up to 50 for an axe, up to 100 for the hammer. So that means sword and axe are equally likely, but hammer has 50% of the chances out of a D100. So this weighted table is gonna do that automatically, and if you reroll, you can confirm that most of the time we should get a hammer, I hope. But yes, that's the idea. So you can do weighted tables and things like that. So between combining weights and multiple tables in one row, I think the imagination is our limit here for custom tables. So you can really get done whatever you like. Dex is asking, is there any items length limit, number of entries? No, you can make as huge a table as to blow up your devices, but what it does internally is check the biggest number of your weights. So if you have 25 sword, 50 axe, and then you have 5,000 hammer, then it's gonna roll a 1d 5,000. So if it breaks, it's your device, because I don't want to try this personally. But yes, there shouldn't be any problem. But yes, there's no hard-coded limit. But thanks for the question. So random tables, they can be re-rolled. Not only that, you can also include the question you want to ask before you roll. Hey, what weapon does Hawk carry? And then you click on random tables and click weapons, and then you're gonna get the question embedded with the role of that random table. So in your narrative, you're gonna get the table role result plus the context of the question. Yes, so super powerful feature, right? I'm a bit scared about this one, but I'm sure you're gonna do fine with it. Have fun. Please promote Plot Unfolding Machine and not other oracles, even though I like every other oracle system. I made this app with the love of the Plot Unfolding Machine. So with that said, we are free to go and share random tables and use them in our games, and hopefully the next quarterly event could also include world-specific random tables. So super cool. Another small detail before I move on, random tables are cross-game. That means if you open any of all your other games, like the Machines game, if I click random tables, these tables are gonna come up with us. That means random tables are not included in a game. they are part of your device. With this, you have to be careful. If you want to have random tables in other devices, you need to download them and move them and load them from your other device, for example, because random tables are device specific, not game specific. Indeed. CL says we're asking for a simple table and Jensen delivered out with whole Excel functions. Yeah, probably. At this speed, why not? Let's go back to our Kleigen game. As you said, remember random prompts over here are gonna be plot focus specific. So let's move to other features to take a look at what else is in there, because I think we'll need a full hour of features. Let's take a look at the next big feature, that is character templates. So how does it work? You can create one character that will serve as a template for other characters in any of your games. The way it works, it might be a bit counterintuitive. Maria said it's not intuitive, but if you learn how it works, you will figure it out. You essentially create a character, just like any other character, and call it, this is going to be my PC template, my protagonist character or player character template. And you can add, you can add images to it, right? Let me check, where are my portrait images? Yeah, don't look into my screen. Yeah, you can add images or whatever you like. You can add tabs like items and weapons and quests. And then you can add tables, like, I don't know, whatever you like, column 1, column 2. And you can write a bunch of stuff. So this is gonna be a template. And now we get the quantum universe simulator. Yes, probably with PUM-C at this speed in 1 year, we will be able to create physical simulations of worlds and generate worlds for the monthly PUM that are procedurally generated as we go. No, let's go back to real life. So we create the character template, and then you have to press on this button here. The top button here is to create a template out of that character. Then we give it a name. In this case, it's gonna take the character name by default, so PC template. Yeah. And that's it. So we can even now delete this example character we created for the template. And now we can create a character from template and click on that. And we're gonna get that copy. Oops, there's something wrong here. Didn't bring my text. Buggy. Okay. Oh yeah, I was writing on Quest. No bugs, we're good to go. Worry not. False alarm. So yeah, as you can see, we created a character out of a template. So then every other character we want to create can be created from this template. One thing I haven't tried is what happens if I use a character template in a location template. Let's see how it blows up. Oh, it works out. So yeah, it doesn't care if it's a location or a character right now, so it's up to you how to use your template and how and where to classify it. So you can create a template for both if you like characters and locations and just use that, but it will just work. So with that, again, if you access any of the buttons that open up the templates, you can download these to your computer. The format for template is called PUM-E, PUM entities. That means you can create NPCs and share it with other PUM-C players who can play with your characters. So this can be fantastic. I don't know. I'm not talking crazy stuff like creating a compendium of monsters, but why not, right? And another YouTube glitch. Yeah, this hope I'm back. YouTube is not ready for PUM C 1.10 as I can see. So yeah, that was character templates. Thank you for your patience. I think I'm back. But yeah, now we can create characters and share locations in Discord and anywhere else. Hi Maria, nice to see you there. And let's jump in a deeper feature for a second. Let's say you don't want an entire character template, just an image template. So let's get into the image editor. Yay, I need some more excitement. In the way I share this, let me download a Fate Core sheet to make this example properly, because we will need it. Downloading, I'm going to improvise something with you guys. So, let's say I want to play Fate, and this is what is a feature called image templates. Let's see what we want to do with image templates. Let's say we want to create a template for playing Fate Core. What we do is load an image in any character, doesn't matter, and then we will edit it by opening the context menu and pressing edit image. It's a terrible quality image per what I can see. Let me fetch another one, come on, I can do better than this. Is there any Fate sheet of good quality I could use? One sec. I think this should be a bit better. Oh, I went through, okay, 1 sec, I'm gonna do it very fast. I'm back. So let's do that. Let's say we want to play Fate Core with Fate Core sheets. I'm gonna go to load this thing. Let's see if this is better. Yeah, much better. And we go and edit this image. And we want to create a Fate character sheet. Now we open the Fate image sheet and we start adding text here for everything we would like. We can also set up, configure the colors. I think I showed you this in the past, so I'm not gonna spend so much on it. Change the background. If you like no background, you can set it up to transparent. And then we can start copying this thing quickly. I'm not going to do the full sheet, but I'm just going to show you how easy it can be to just set up things. To create a sheet, you can also expand some numbers like this, right? And step by step, we can create a character sheet from Fate Core. I'm gonna stop the example here. Maybe just one more thing here on concept. So it's pretty cool, because then what we're gonna do is come up to this character and gonna to press set as template. That means we're gonna create from here a real Fate Core sheet demo. And that's it. Now we can go to any other character, like the black bear, and press on the button here, on this button here down below is a new one, and load this Fate sheet. So essentially now the bear has a Fate Core sheet, as simple as that. What you can do with it then is just edit image and start changing things. Bear, description, bad bear. Oops, I'm too excited for this demo. Bad bear can jump fast as a monster. I don't know. So cool, then you can just work with cheats as easy as this is. And am I gone? Yes, I'm gone. Today is the technical problems day, stuff day. Round 2. Let me see if I'm coming back. Yes, that's rude. No, I was too rude for the bear. Today the stream is not helpful. Huh? It was too good to be true the last one, I guess. Sorry, well, having a few issues, but I'm coming back in a moment. Let's see if I can fix this real time. All right, I have issues. I'll be back in a second. Please hang on for a minute. All right, am I back? My goodness, today the stream won't cooperate. I see 16 viewers. Thank you so much today for being extremely patient. I'm gonna work out on my setup so these technical issues are not that often in the future. Please confirm you hear me well, because definitely YouTube and me, yeah. Let's see, now it says signal excellent, so let's catch up with the features. So, I was saying, am I back for real? I hope, yeah. So, as you can see now, the character sheets can be super easily templated. So even the Falcon itself can get a Fate core sheet. And again, he's gonna get it from this template with everything ready to be filled in. And this is going to work in mobile as well. So super cool stuff. What we can do on top of that, before I forget, is that now you can press and hold here. And there's a button here called Set as Shortcut. What this does is enable you to access quickly that the bear's character sheet from here. So if you press hold here, you can press shortcut image and access the bear's character sheet right away from the in-game. So the idea is to reduce the amount of navigation you have to do. So you're playing, you're fighting with that bear, you just come here, press shortcut image and get access to their sheet. This is super cool because now each of the characters can have a shortcut image to their character sheets. So from here, either in list mode or grid view, you will be able to quickly reach out their sheets from here. Yeah. So that is it about character sheets, templates, and random tables. I think that could be for the night, but there's plenty of more. Let me catch up with other things. So okay, again, also this, if I haven't said it before, these sheets can be downloaded from here and shared. So we can already, starting tomorrow, if I release on schedule, create sheets. Please be careful of copyright stuff, but character sheets are usually of public domain. Create sheets, fill in the text, like the input text, every note you want to do or anything, press download, and it's gonna call a file type called PUM image. And this you can share, others can import, so everybody can get and make use of your own Fate core sheet, for example. How do shortcuts work on mobile? So I remember this question, Dex. Currently on mobile, I don't have the mobile demo ready, but there is no Control-C, Control-V shortcut, of course, but you tap on text and then you tap on anywhere on the screen, for example here, and then the keyboard will pop up and then you can write something down here. And that's it. So no shortcuts, but it is also not extremely difficult. You tap on text and then you tap wherever you want the text to be, type something and move on. So really, really easy. All right. So of course it's more handy to do this on PC. Maybe somebody will create the character sheets we want and then reuse them, but it's also not impossible to work on this. You have to, like, pinch to zoom in or rotate stuff. It's a bit maybe painful if you're doing very complex stuff, but for the simple things, this is gonna be perfect. We can even give it a filter here and tweak out the fade sheet with some fine tuning. All right, I'm enjoying these features today. I'm gonna be slower than the typical, but I hope you're enjoying it yourself too. Let me know how does it feel so far. Let's move on to interesting other features. But what Dex says, what about the shortcut to see the sheets directly? That's the same. So for that on mobile, you just go to the bear, press and hold on the sheet, and here you press set as shortcut or unset as shortcut if it's already set. And then you press and hold here on the character and you get this button shortcut image. So that's the same for everybody. Yeah. Remember also for special characters like the storyteller, you can always disable them so they're not invoked by plot nodes. Oh yeah, this symbol appears here but not in list mode. I'm gonna track that bug because here it shows this red symbol when a character is not invoked by random prompts, because you don't want the story to bring, you know, meta characters or unavailable NPCs to your game. Remember, you can always enable or disable characters. Yeah, so let's see other topics. Let's work a bit with maps, because I worked a lot on the image editor and I would like to share with all of you what's out there. The image editor got reboosted. By default, if you tap on an image, it's gonna open it. So just to see, no editing. To edit it, you need to press hold and press edit image, which will open the image editor. And here you have what I was showing, right? You can add texts, like text pointers or whatever. There's something new, which is called the gallery. The gallery is gonna bring every image you have in your game, so you can make use of it directly from here. That means you can bring this character and use it as a token in your map. Then you can resize them, and that's it. So super fast, you have your character in your map. Claydon, I think he was on the forest nearby where he found fallen tree character, so he's not in Bear Clan itself yet. So as you can see, you can bring characters, portraits, fallen tree somewhere also around here, so we could bring in as well on the map where we last saw her, perhaps. What is new here? This gallery button is new, of course. The text also placement as I showed you, but what is new is that before the images would lose their quality significantly when we were working on this, but now I have rewritten this code so the images will stay as they were. That means your images will always be the original ones, so if you resize them, you have your original token over there. This is as advanced as I could get. This was crazy amount of work to be able to achieve this, but it's really important, because if we want to work with maps and move things around, we want to really keep up always at the maximum quality of the image and then not lose anything. So I think this is a lot of fun, because now we can use really these maps or kind of images to really keep track of things, bring images from the game, and the map and the app will keep track of all of that as we play. So super cool stuff. I have improved the performance and the UI of this image editor, so it should be as powerful as it gets. And yeah, this will be also great for battle maps. It might be a bit of a stretch to fight over here. I'm not sure I want to get in that territory, but if you have a simple enough system, maybe, I don't know, maybe, because it's not that you can roll dice when you are looking at the map or something like that, or write down things, but maybe you can change the image of the fight. Yeah, and that's a good question actually. If you press and hold, there is here a button called send to log. So this is gonna take the snapshot of this image in this state and send it to the log. So from the chat itself, you're gonna be able to log that moment in the fight. Let's do that experiment together. If I come here and move Gladen, I don't know, to the fish clan, and then I send this to the log, I really hope we get both versions, yeah, without breaking each other. So yeah, we could essentially take snapshot of a potential battle or the position of everybody in the map, and then send those images to the log as to show the progression, everything that can be done in the app without switching across apps or trying different things. Yeah, this is what I feared. I'm gonna track this also down. It's a good point. I think right now it's gonna show the last version of the image in the log. Good question, Seal. That led me to a nice potential improvement we could do. Let me open my notes so I don't forget the 2 bugs we found so far. Red icon missing in list view and sending image to the log, keep snapshot. Yay, finding bugs, or at least not bugs, nothing is broken, but yeah, good ideas. I think it would be nice if we could keep a track of the battle. Right now the images are always pointing to the latest version of that image you have, so if you update it, every image in the log will update. But I think it would be fair to say they should be the image at the time they were taken. Yeah, let's move on to other stuff. Yes, so let's see. Now, big next feature. I think Dex and Kelly will like this one, but many others as well. Now there is a new menu for exporting your game to PDF. This super menu is gonna have amazing possibilities. Now you will be able to first choose the range you're exporting. That means you can choose starting from only at or up until the range logic, and then the section. So you could say, for example, here, okay, it's a bad example. My game has only 2 sections so far, the landslide and have to help them. But I could technically say starting from have to help them, and this is going to export the PDF only that section and onwards. You can also export specific sections by choosing only add and then choosing the section you want to export. I'm sure you guys are gonna like this one because you can now are able to export parts of your game, or as you build up the story, different PDFs. There are a few caveats to be aware of, particularly when you're playing improvised plot tracks, because sometimes you advance the plot after you move to the new section and so on. So there are a few corner case scenarios that you might not get perfect cut at the section jump, but that depends on how you play. So this will not work so great if, for example, you play a lot and then you go back in time into the earlier logs and say, hey, I want this log to be a plot beat. It's gonna create, like, the app is not going to be able to tell where exactly does your section start and end. But if you play typically and by default and doing things more or less and normal as per the plot section advances with you, then it's gonna be fine. As you can see on my screen, you can exclude mechanics. That means it's gonna hide dice rolls, random table rolls, what else? Plot beats and so on. You can also exclude particular characters. So for example, if you don't like the storyteller to show up, or maybe you have a character for speaking your own mind notes, but you don't want these notes to be revealed to the players when you share the game, now you can very easily exclude a speaker. Let's give an example. I'm going to exclude all mechanics and hide everything from the storyteller. for the purpose of this example, I'm gonna show everything. So starting from the landslide and export this PDF. So what we have now, if you see my screen, there shouldn't be any storytellers dialogues. So those notes are completely hidden. And as you can see also, there are no dice roll and no mechanics. That means your story is exported as per what you wrote. Of course, here in my case, I use Claygun, for example, to roll, to tell that I'm spending fate points. So it's up to us to be, let's say, careful if we want to do proper placement of the mechanics to do that properly. So if you want to really hide mechanics, you should really write them from a perspective of a specific character. Kelly says, I like that exclude mechanics. I could post multiple files, people who want to see mechanics and those who just want to read the plot and story content. Oh yeah, that's a good thing. I'm not sure there is a currently only mechanics thing, but you could exclude all of the narrative speakers, and definitely you could do that. Yeah, many combinations. Moving on. So wow, time management today with the technical stuff gone a bit south, but let's catch up together. Reading my notes here, we have the characters we talked about. The example game. Yeah, the word count. Actually, Dex, you mentioned it. Thank you. That was a feature request. Indeed, I could develop it quite conveniently fast. There is a setting now called show word count that's gonna go and show the word counts here in little small number on the top right. So it's going to show the word count of your total game. That's not gonna filter things, so it's not gonna... Okay, it's not going to count plot rolls and dice rolls, that's for sure. But everything that appears white, that is called text, is going to show up and count for this word count. So for example, oracles will not add up to that number. And it shouldn't. Let's try. But if I roll here, okay, this added question. Let me try again. Oh, I think there's a bug there as well. Okay. Yeah, so if I add here, this doesn't add any new words. So if I use oracles, as you can see, it doesn't increase the word count. So only my own written text will increase the word count number. Yes. All right, let's start to wrap up the conclusion for today. Let me check. We talked about the new help menu, the image, so we can share templates, we can share character sheet images, we can share random tables, we can filter now PDF exports, bunch of stuff really. I think it's taking the app to another level if you ask me. There's tons of improvements in the background. So for example, now the save games are gonna be lighter because there's a cleanup mechanism that's gonna remove unused images from your exported game file. The text area here, as you can see, is gonna properly use the entire available space of your screen. This was a challenging task because this page is a bit complex with the images and so on, but I figured that out. So you'll have plenty of space to write here very comfortably. Let me check what else. Yes, the text. Yeah, the text improvements we already looked at. Oh yeah, another relevant feature, not minor one, is that whenever you open an image and you scroll, it's gonna use the entire space of your screen. Something that in the past it was not happening. So now you can really, it's a small minor thing, but now you can really enjoy your images using the entire device space on the screen. I'm gonna let you read the changelog later, but yes, let's relax a bit and catch up with what you think. Is there something you would like to take a look at? Something to... Any other questions you might have, or anything I could show you around, or any questions about the app or plot unfolding machine in general, do let me know. Yes, but plenty of stuff. I mean, I really, with the gameplay changes, the image changes, oracles, the plot focus, lots of changes. I'm happy about this release. And yes, thank you for staying me across these hours. I was planning, if I had extra time, to play a little bit of the story, but I think I'm gonna do that in a video more comfortably because I ran out of time today. And also I'm too technical mindset. I would need to plug off my coding mindset and get into this prehistoric world, because I really wanted to move forward on this story. Now with character sheets, I could even have Claygan with his Fate character sheets. I will bring his stunts and aspects around here and have them handy. That's gonna be super. And then I can also quickly create monsters by just like this bear, bring their character sheets and fill them in with the details I want and very flexibly play. Yes. CL says, it's unbelievable that even the smallest wish from the community is programmed. Yes, I go a bit far sometimes, but I make it out of the fun it brings me and the fun it brings you. And we have to learn anyways to remember that to play we need much less than what we have, but lots of these improvements are on the UI as well, so they are enabling. And I really wish to not convert this app into a big monster of an app that does a lot of things poorly or slowly. So it's really the priority to keep the app lightweight and fast and easy to work with and focused on what we want to do. Kelly says, if I wanted to, I can make Swade sheet, then share it. So everyone just can pick up the sheet and put it in their own game, right? Yeah, absolutely. Kelly, definitely. So you can just create the sheet once, just as I did. Press this button here, and instead of clicking it, which will add the sheet to you, you press on the arrow here, the download arrow. This is gonna export it as a file, and then you can share this file with everybody, and everybody can come and load it from the file and have the same sheet. Stars Above says, what is the current update schedule, just so we know when we can rush to each app store and download it? I might have missed an answer if I had. No, update schedule, it's a good question. I'm not very good at structuring and roadmaps and things like that, to be honest. So in principle I wanted small updates every 2 weeks, but in practice I've been doing huge updates every 1 month. But I don't want to promise it will stay like that. I really want to play more often and feel the app more often. So the plan is now to make sure that what it's being done, it's done right. So I really hope to get into polishing. There is a few features, of course, like searching. Searching in the game is an important one that's missing, and the other one that's really missing and frequently asked is to be able to set up side quests. So essentially, if you are playing right now and you have this plot track and something else pops up, right now the way to do it is that you really have to bring this to a new plot and set up the side quest, which will bring most of your notes and your characters and your plot notes and everything. You can do fine-tuning here, but essentially you're creating a new game, separate game. Maybe you can choose for that side quest a plot track and a plot focus for that side quest, and then you play. So then this side quest would happen in its own game. This is the way right now to say, hey, what happens if I want to follow another thread? It might be complex right now. There's no way to group multiple games in a campaign, or so to say. Be able to share the logs if you want, but that will be too complex as well. So those are the two features I'm thinking of, like multiple plot tracks, campaign, so to say, and searching in the game. But honestly, I think we can survive for long without those. Enjoy the app a bit more and see where we can perfect it. But yes, those are my thoughts on that. Jensen, did your magnificent fast shelf features disappear from our site again? Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna wrap up the stream today because technical stuff is not with me. But let me see. Let me just get on the questions and then we wrap up. Deg says, if we start using the same system, could we even have co-op? Yes, co-op play and multiplayer could also be a dreamy long-term feature. But yeah, I mean, organizing events takes time. So, but I'm super open to any event anyone would like to organize. And yes, of course, it's not simple to organize an event. We need ground bases and ground truth rules and so on. But why not? But we don't need to have the app in co-op. We can play and arrange the world together and come to synchronization if you would like to. But of course, this is a solo RPG hobby, so lots of the joys happen privately, so to say. But yeah, I played co-op many times, and it's really fun. In Plot and Folding Machine particularly. So I really recommend doing that. All right. Thank you so much for coming with me. Despite the technical issues today, I think we could enjoy some of the new features. Hoping to make a shorter video showing them out because they might be tricky enough for beginners maybe who want to understand how they work. But with that said, yeah, thank you so much for spending the evening today with me and having the patience and being awesome. And let's catch up on the future and see how this app looks like. This update will be released tonight. I only have to, polish a few things, but it should be released in a few hours. So starting tomorrow or later tonight, we will all be able to enjoy this version. And have a good night. Thank you all. Bye-bye.